This is from a month ago, so I'm a little slow on it, but this is a video about the people know that people who watch know that I like to work out. I mean, I don't think I'm the most diligent person in the world when it comes to working out, but I do try to go, I do try to work out for like an hour a day. Currently I'm doing 4 days a week with an optional fifth day if I feel like it. So I like to hit the gym. I like to lift the weights, pump some iron, Um, and so we're gonna watch this video. This is about because one thing that I have noticed is that steroids are going crazy right now in the fitness community. At least in the online fitness community, like everybody is using steroids, it feels like, and people are using them younger and younger. Um, so which personally I think is stupid. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, we're gonna watch this video about how steroids age your body and see what we think. This is by Built Different.
What do you think, bro? I'm 22.
More like 22
22
years since his last divorce, or 22 years in prison. Jokes aside, this guy seems happy, but while everyone wants big muscles, not everyone can handle the big side effects. When people think about the downsides of steroids, they mainly focus on heart problems or gyno. But not many worry about what happens to every steroid user: premature aging. That's why you see so many athletes looking 10 years older than they actually are.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you're unlucky, even 30 years older. You might have seen this freak of nature
That
already.
dude's crazy. That dude has a crazy body type, by the way. I've seen him do he does like insane lifts, but his arm to body ratio is crazy. Like if you look at like Larry Wheels over here compared to this guy, especially his forearms are insane. I don't know what he's doing to get that forearm strength. Probably nothing good though.
Or if you're unlucky, even 30 years older. You might have seen this freak of nature already. His name is Andrei Smaev, and his lifts are incredible. Inhuman strength in calisthenics, bench press and arm wrestling. But what really makes him fascinating is how old he looks. In just 4 years, he aged 6 times that.
Oh my gosh, wait, what? Sorry, one
But
sec.
what really makes him fascinating
First of all, take a look at how much muscle mass this guy has.
is how old he looks. In just 4 years,
And then compare it to this. This is 4 years. That's an insane amount of muscle mass to put on. I don't know how your body could even handle that. That is crazy. But he was already in pretty good shape right here. To be honest, he has he seems like he's like pretty lean. He's got good chest development. Yeah, I don't know. He was looking pretty good here.
he aged 6 times that. So what exactly
That face, yeah, that does look, he did age a lot.
caused it? There are 3 main reasons why it happens. The first main effect is facial puffiness. Faces tell stories, and with steroid use, your face will reveal it all. The body may look strong and muscular, but the face becomes round, swollen, and wrinkly. But how does it happen? There are few reasons for that. Steroids change how the body manages water. Water retention means the body keeps extra fluid under the skin. When this fluid collects in the cheeks, around the jaw, and under the eyes, the face begins to look swollen. Why does that make someone look older? Because
See, I didn't even really know that. I had heard people say I think I watched someone said something about Barry Bonds before, and they were like, look at how if you ever look back at how he looked before he started doing steroids and after, and his head like doubled in size. I was like, yeah, I guess you're right, but I never really I never knew why. I didn't know it was because of like water retention. That's crazy.
swelling hides the sharp lines that make a face look young, like a clear jawline
Clavicular alert, people.
and defined cheekbones. Steroids also affect where fat is stored. Fat redistribution means fat moves from one part of the body to another. Instead of sitting in the hips or legs, some fat may collect in the face and neck. When fat builds up in the cheeks, it pushes the skin outward and makes the face look rounder and heavier. Without visible bone structure, the face loses the firm shape often associated with youth. Steroids can build muscle even without training, and that effect is not limited to the body. The face also contains muscle. So when steroids increase overall muscle growth, the facial muscles can become thicker as well.
I heard a crazy stat from, I think, like a Jeff Nippard video of people who did steroids but didn't work out compared to people who just worked out natty. And I think half of the people who did steroids while without even lifting a weight ended up building more muscle mass than the people who lifted weight natural, which was crazy to me. I did not think that that was going to be the case. It obviously affects every single person differently, though, but like that, so then I guess that makes sense that like some muscles that like obviously nobody works out their like, their jaw muscles or something, right? Like I mean maybe psychos do, but I like if you're a sane person, you do not work out your jaw. And so I guess yeah, a lot of the muscles around your face probably would never grow unless you actually did yeah, did some sort of steroid.
Well, when thicker facial muscles are combined with extra water and fat, the face starts to look weird. The result is a constant full or swollen look. Many steroid users have a lean muscular body but a puffy face. This contrast makes the aging effect even more noticeable. The skin also reacts when the face keeps swelling. Skin has collagen, the protein that keeps it firm and elastic. If the face is stretched again and again, over time collagen and the skin support system weaken. The skin stops snapping back as well as before, and fine lines and wrinkles can show up sooner than they should.
Hey, I'm starting to get there, buddy. Let's not make fun of wrinkles, okay?
Luckily, most of these effects can usually be reversed by stopping steroid use, but not always. If you have been abusing steroids for decades, don't expect a complete recovery. But if you just started, you still have time to think carefully about whether you want to go down that road. But that's just one part of the story.
Yeah, young people out there, please, 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 please listen to me. You should not be doing steroids until you have reached if you're going to if you're going to do them, you should not be doing them until you've reached a decently close to like your genetic maximum of like what you can achieve naturally. You should be, building as much muscle as you possibly can naturally, and only after that should you even consider it. And even then, you should only ever consider it if you are planning on doing this for a living. If you are going to be going up on stage and doing it's not going to help you like live longer. It's not going to like help you like have a better life or a happier life or anything. It may help you get like clicks on social media, but I don't know. I think really people should be a lot more careful about, you know, diving into the world of steroids, especially young people, man. Wait until your body is at least fully developed and your brain is fully developed. Like, wait at least until 25 is what I would say. I know that's hard for a lot of people to listen to hear because people do it so young now, just to try to get into professional bodybuilding, but it's not a good idea. And 90% of people who are going to do it are not going to actually have the genetic potential to make it in professional bodybuilding anyway. So you're really just, like screwing over your entire life for like not that much. The only thing that you might get is some social media clicks. And that's not a guaranteed way towards like a success either. That's also a heavily luck dependent if you're going to make it or not. Look at me, I'm a streamer. I'm telling you right now, it's very luck dependent. You can have an amazing product like me and still not make it. Okay, let's continue.
The next effect is even worse: hair loss. It's the single change that makes the biggest difference in how old someone looks. A person can have clear skin and a strong jaw, but when the hairline starts moving back, the face suddenly looks years older. Many people lose some hair naturally, and it already makes them look older. But why do steroids make this process even faster? Main anabolic steroids are artificial versions of testosterone, the main male hormone. When someone uses testosterone, some of it converts into another hormone called DHT, which plays a major role in hair loss. So what does DHT do? It attacks the hair follicles, the tiny structures in the skin where hair grows. Think of them like small factories producing hair strands. When DHT attaches to these follicles, it slowly shrinks them. Doctors call this process miniaturization, which simply means the follicles become smaller and weaker over time. What happens when a follicle shrinks? The hair it produces becomes thinner and shorter. At first, the change is subtle. The hairline may look slightly thinner or less dense, but over time the follicles can shrink so much that they stop producing visible hair altogether. This is how male pattern baldness develops. Here's the important part. Steroids can dramatically increase DHT levels in the body. That means
if anything, that's the main reason I'm not going to do it. I mean, no, that's not the main reason. The main reason is for health reasons. I only work out for health reasons. So, or like, that's my primary goal. Yes, I want to develop an aesthetic physique as like a fun side effect, or like, but that's secondary to the health goals that I'm trying to achieve. But also like my hairline, I've been cursed with a far back hairline for my entire life. Like, you can kind of see it here. This is how it's been since I was like, 16, and it hasn't really been moving, which is a good sign. As far as I know. It's been maybe getting a little bit thinner since I've started getting older, but I'm hoping that I get to keep it for a while. But yeah, this would accelerate it, so that's a no-go for me.
This shrinking process can happen much faster than normal. Someone who might have started losing hair at 40 could begin at 20 or 25. Steroids don't create the genetic tendency for baldness, but they can strongly accelerate it. Does everyone on steroids lose their hair? Not necessarily. Genetics still matters. Some people have follicles that are more sensitive to DHT, others less. But when steroids raise hormone levels far above normal, the risk increases significantly for many users. And once hair follicles fully shrink, the change is often permanent. Treatments can slow hair loss, but bringing dead follicles back is extreme.
Well, they're permanent unless you go to a special little place called Turkey, where Turkey has all your hopes and dreams can come true. They can take hairs from all over your body, ass hair, leg hair, arm hair, and it can throw it right up on top of your head. So it's like they can like astroturf your head, man. It's amazing. So not to like I'm joking, people. Okay, that's not an excuse for you to go hop on TRT immediately.
Extremely difficult. That's why hair loss is often one of the first and most visible long-term signs of steroid use. Another major change that affects how the face looks is skin damage. Healthy skin is one of the clearest signs of youth. When skin is smooth and free of marks, a face naturally looks younger. Many people who use anabolic steroids develop severe acne. It can appear on the face, chest, shoulders, and back, but when it spreads across the face, it becomes especially noticeable.
I didn't even know that Jake Paul had that.
Face, chest, shoulders, and back, but when it's
I didn't even know that he had that much like acne. I guess yeah. I've heard people say that he's on steroids, and I would probably agree. But he's doing it not for like not necessarily for like pure aesthetics. So I think he's primarily doing it for like his boxing or whatever. So like there's a reason that his body isn't like, you know, crazy developed for even though he might be on steroids.
Spreads across the face, it becomes especially noticeable. But why do steroids cause acne? The main reason is hormone imbalance. Anabolic steroids raise levels of androgens, hormones that control many male traits but also affect the skin. Inside the skin are small structures called sebaceous glands. These glands produce oil or sebum, which normally protects and moisturizes the skin. But when androgen levels become very high, the glands overproduce oil. Too much oil creates problems. It mixes.
I think mine are low. My face gets so dry, dude. Like I don't know. My androgens might be like too low.
With dead skin cells and blocks the pores, the small openings where hair and oil come to the surface. Once a pore is blocked, bacteria can grow inside. The body reacts with inflammation, causing redness, swelling, and irritation. This process forms pimples, cysts, and large painful breakouts. But the biggest reason acne ages the face is not the pimples themselves, it's the scars they leave behind. Severe acne can damage deeper layers of the skin. When the skin heals, it may form scars that look like small holes, dents, or rough patches. Once they appear, scars may stay permanently. Why does this matter for
I didn't even know that was exactly what caused that before. I guess it like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Okay.
Scars ruin skin quality. Young skin is smooth. Scarred skin becomes uneven and rough. The texture changes, the surface loses its glow, and the face can start to look worn out and older. Even if the acne eventually...
Oh man, Sam Sulek, yeah, I mean, maybe it's just the beard, but he does look, you know, a little bit older on this one.
disappears, you're left with scars that can last for years. If that's not enough, there's also aging you can't see. Aging of the organs, and this one is far worse than just how you look. Steroids don't only change your appearance, they can seriously damage your heart, liver, and kidneys, and this can actually kill you. It's not cosmetic, it's life-threatening. Using steroids is like running your organs at double speed. Everything inside your body has to work harder than normal. Over time, this extra stress can cause permanent damage. And unlike acne scars or a...
But not only that, not only just the effects of being on steroids, but also the effects of maintaining like superhuman levels of muscle mass. Anytime you're going beyond what your genetic potential is in terms of like the amount of muscle mass that you're putting on and the leanness that you are putting immense amount of like stress on particularly your heart, because pumping enough blood to support that much muscle mass is very, very difficult. because your body wasn't built for it. Like your body was not built to have that much muscle on you. But also, yeah, all of your organs are kind of like have to work harder to just try and keep up with the amount of work it takes just to, you know, just to keep supplying all of those muscles with as much nutrients as they need. So yeah, there's always, yeah, it's very risky, very risky.
Normal. Over time, this extra stress can cause permanent damage. And unlike acne scars or a receding hairline, it's not something that you can just live with. The heart is the biggest danger. Steroids force it to work harder and grow thicker, which might sound cool at first, but a thick heart can't pump blood efficiently. This raises blood pressure and significantly increases the risk of heart attacks. In fact, heart problems are the most common reason bodybuilders die young. Even if someone looks massive and healthy on the outside, their heart may be aging and weakening.
It's not healthy. That's one thing you need to get out of your brain. These people, the way that they look is not healthy. Never assume that somebody who looks like this is healthy. This is a very unhealthy like physique. It's ungodly amounts of muscle mass like that is putting so much pressure on your body. If you ever talk to a person who looks like this, they have a hard time even like talking because like their breathing is so shallow. You know, so, and then not only that, but they are leaner than any human should be from a health perspective. If you're a man, you're supposed to be in like, I'd say anywhere from like 15 to 25% is a pretty healthy body fat percent. These people are, for competitions, like some of these photos, are getting under 5% in some aspects, or in some cases. That is, you're in starvation mode at that point. Your body is in starvation mode. It thinks that you are starving to death. It is not a healthy, like, this is just unhealthy to be in. That's something that, yeah, we shouldn't associate like muscle mass and like bodybuilding competition. It's impressive to be able to get the human body to look like this, but it is by no means healthy. That's how you should think of it.
Without anyone noticing. Think of it like a car engine running constantly at redline. Eventually it will break down. The other organs like the liver and kidneys also take a hit. The liver works overtime to process extra hormones and the kidneys have to filter more waste than they were designed to handle. Over time this workload can cause permanent damage. When organs fail, it's life-threatening. And the scary part is you might feel fine until it's too late. Even your brain isn't safe from the effects. This is where the dumb bodybuilder stereotype often comes from. It isn't necessarily that these athletes lack intelligence, it's that long-term use causes a severe form of brain fog. While it isn't natural biological aging itself, it creates the exact same effects, a measurable decline in cognitive function, memory and focus. Research suggests that chronic steroid use can actually shrink certain areas of the brain, leading to emotional instability and a loss of mental sharpness
that's another reason that I would never do it. I value my brain too much. I mean, like, I don't know. I use my brain a lot. I have a job as a computer, you know, software engineer. And also I like to do things that require intellect. One of my biggest fears is getting old and losing my cognitive ability, which I don't know. I hope I got a long time till that happens. But yeah, doing steroids isn't probably going to help with that regard.
Usually only comes with extreme old age. The point is simple, steroids may give you bigger muscles, but they age every part of your body. Hairlines, acne or puffiness might make you look older, but what happens inside might actually shorten your life. Using steroids isn't just a cosmetic risk, it's a hidden serious threat you can't ignore. So what if anything from this video sounds familiar? That's a warning. You might have a big problem. If nothing feels familiar, then you're on the right track. Before you go down the rabbit hole of chasing your dream physique, think twice about the consequences. You aren't just gaining muscle, you are trading your long-term health and youthful appearance for a temporary image that you're into.
Yeah, it's not like, you shouldn't think of it as your dream physique. You should think of it as like if you're going to do this, it should be you're going into the profession of bodybuilding. That's my personal opinion.
Internal organ.
I don't even think you should be doing it for just like social media and stuff. Like, even if you want to be an influencer or whatever, I would say like that's not a good reason. Only if you're planning on becoming an IFPB pro should you ever even consider it. And you should also still wait until you hit your, hit hit your genetic ceiling of what you can accomplish naturally.
Gaining muscle, you are trading your long-term health and youthful appearance for a temporary image that your internal organs simply weren't designed to sustain. What begins as ambition can easily turn into dependence, where maintaining the look matters more than how you actually feel. Over time, the goalpost keeps moving, and what once seemed extreme starts to feel normal, making the risks easier to ignore. But if you enjoyed this video, don't...
Yeah, that was crazy. That was cool. It was a cool video. I thought he was going to maybe talk a little bit more about like the you know, the youths and like social media and all that stuff, like presenting unrealistic body images. I mean, not the, to be honest, here, wait, sorry. I'm trying to get back to that frame with clavicular on it. Come on. Right here. That's not it. There it is. He is on steroids, which is, I think that I've heard that he's on like, or at the very least, he's on like a high doses of TRT. And maybe he just doesn't go to the gym that often or whatever, but I would say that his physique is like equivalent to mine potentially. And I'm only working out, 4 days a week with dumbbells only. So, I don't know. I guess maybe everybody does it differently. But anyway, what I was going to say is that I thought he was going to talk a little bit more about the youth getting obsessed with this, and how the 18 and 19-year-olds are like foundationally changing their entire like body chemistry before they've even like barely after they've even hit puberty, which is not good, not good.